Put the kids to bed. Dad's home. We are the DWO podcast, representing the Dad World Order.
Woo!
Pack. I am the handsome head of household, Mr. Magnificent, Mike Martin. With me, as always, my dad team partner, Big Rig, Eric Murphy.
What up?
And as every Thursday we'll have it, joining us yet again, our third. He calls himself the wrestling t-shirt guy. We call him Cephas.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
I don't have a sound
It's
effect for you yet.
Thursday.
it's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Yeah. A special Thursday.
Indeed, it is Thursday. Welcome everybody, and today we have yet another special guest for you. We're just knocking these out of the park, man. It's like every one.
They're
We've
so
got
fun. I'm so
many
glad.
people that just are clamoring to be on the Dad World Order podcast. At least that's the way I think of it in my mind.
That's what we keep telling ourselves, at least.
Yeah, you know, that's what we tell ourselves. So some of you may know this guy, some of you may not, but that's why you're here, is because you're gonna learn about him, and you're really gonna learn just how cheesy this man can be. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cheese.
Thank you for that introduction, my friend. Just playing some cards over here. Nothing.
Are ya?
Everything's regular, normal. What's up, guys?
What is happening, sir?
Welcome.
I appreciate y'all having me. I'm a huge fan of what you're doing with the podcast. I like that you guys are so involved in wrestling, and everybody's wearing some kind of wrestling or wrestling adjacent t-shirt, or, you know, I just love it.
The Nacho Man.
That's actually, so like whenever I do my promos or I, introduce myself typically, and just like, I'm the Gorgonzola rock and roller, the Sultan of Swiss, the amazing Asiago, the Parmesan pummeler, the Prince of Provolone, yada, yada, yada. But the Nacho King is somewhere on there. But I like Nacho Man. Is that Homer?
That's
Yes.
Homer. So yeah, there's an episode of The Simpsons where he goes to, it's the one where he like becomes friends with Flanders, and Flanders buys him a literal sombrero made out of nachos that has cheese in it. It's a whole hat, and he sings
it off and
Nacho,
dips it.
Nacho Man, and he breaks it off and dips it. And this is made by 74 Lands. If you've never seen
Shout
him,
out 74 Lands.
he's on Instagram. He makes some really cool stuff. If you could see my laptop, half my laptop's covered in his stickers. I have a Flanders as Undertaker and says "Stupid Sexy Taker," and it's the greatest.
Our
thing ever.
Facebook profile picture.
Our Facebook profile picture is me and Mr. Magnificent
Oh,
as
right.
Family Guy characters. I have a shirt on PWTs where I am Simpsonized, and it's awesome. So,
I love it.
Shout out 74 Lands. But
Great stuff.
you know, as we're cheesing it up here, you know, we just don't you worry, sir. I got a couple on deck.
I love it. Got the grappling
Cephas
pal.
has got merch.
Grappling pal.
Oh, this is
We got
sharp.
cheese.
This is sharp.
Shap? Is it
Kojak.
extra Shap?
No, this is
Kojak.
sharp.
I mean, I'm a Kojak man myself. I guess that should be the first question. Being
Yeah.
a cheese, do you have a favorite cheese?
Whoa.
I do. Cheese is, it's like it's a mood food. I mean,
Indeed.
while we can eat it anytime, or at least I can, those who are lactose intolerant can't. And I say my prayers and eat my cheese for you, lactose intolerant
Yes,
folks.
thank God.
Right.
I love milk.
Right. But right now, what I'm really digging is it's usually like, it's typically only found on a charcuterie board, but it's that now I'm blanking.
Did you stump him on the first question, Eric?
The first
Whatever.
question: what kind of cheese do you like?
Hard
He
hitting,
doesn't even know. Havarti.
hard hitting Junelin.
Havarti.
Havarti. See,
You
look,
said
I helped him
Ah,
out.
Havarti.
Saying a word.
and I got it. So
Havarti
go.
melts beautifully.
Party
I made
with
grilled
Havarti,
cheese with
baby.
it once. My teenage son was like, "What type of cheese is this? This is wonderful."
Man, I've never tried that. I need
Really?
to get me some Havarti.
you
Yeah,
got to get on it, brother.
I saw it on a cooking
Don't
show once. They
I got a
melts really
bag of Mott's here too, so
Nah.
we're
Shoot.
set up.
and I'm having
Mike-
wine to go with the
Mike's
cheese.
having wine.
Awesome.
We're having a good
Anyhow.
time.
So where did that come from, man? That's what I want to know since I've
Yeah.
followed you is where did the cheese come from? Is this just a wild hair in your ass one day?
This is actually one of my favorite questions, and it's actually a cool story. So, kayfabe, I'm just an old piece of cheese that Shark Boy found in a dumpster, brought out, and then needed him for a tag team match, and there we go.
Wow.
But if you look at my shirt is Lethal Cheese.
Lethal cheese.
So
Yeah.
that's whenever I tag team with my trainer, Jay Lethal, the great Jay Lethal.
I did not know you were trained by him.
I went to Jay Lethal school. I really only wanted to do one match. I grew up a wrestling fan. I loved pro wrestling so much. I watched it with my maternal grandparents. My grandfather's favorite was Sting. Therefore,
Nice.
Sting was my favorite. And always has been, always will be,
Grandpa
probably.
had good taste.
Yeah, he did. He was a man's man. But it was a tradition in our house, and I grew up watching it, loving it all the way through. When all my friends kind of stopped watching, I was the guy who kept watching.
Same.
And it happens. I stopped for just a little bit because there was an incident at my house where I hit my brother in the head with a plastic tiny chair. And
Those unprotected chair shots, man.
Hey,
They don't do them anymore.
My
I
dad-
flew back then, though, man. That was like I was all right back then,
my dad banned wrestling in the house.
Oh,
And so my grandparents, we lived out in the woods. My grandparents lived out on our property behind us. And so I would just sneak off to my grandparents' house and continue watching wrestling with them.
There you go.
And so anyway, snap forward, a lot of life happens under my belt. I'm aged, 31 years at this point.
Ooh, that's quite the cheese. Quite the cheese.
Very pungent.
young
Yeah,
man.
Absolutely, you have to be.
And so
Boy.
I I was like, you know what? My grandparents were dead and gone. God rest their souls
R.I.P.
and all that good stuff. But I said, I want to do this for them so they can see me. Because wherever, whatever you believe in, whatever your whole thing
Right.
is, not to get all woo woo on the DWO.
No.
Whatever you think of, it's like it's kind of a nice thought that if you're close to somebody in your family, they're kind of watching over you.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I was like, I'm gonna be a wrestler, and I want them to know about it, and it'll be a secret thing that's for them, but it's also because it's for them, it'll also be for me, and it's just kind of honor driven and all that stuff. And
For sure.
so I look around at schools around here, and I land on Jay Lethal School. And we get to the point where you go through all the drills, all the stuff that you learn about, and you get to the point where you need to talk about promos. And that is an area where I've been able to do pretty okay. The cheese is built I tell this to everybody, I'm built for comfort, not for speed. So all the flips and the crazy athleticism, it's not the cheese. The cheese is all about brawling and chucking cheese upside your head and
Yeah.
that sort of stuff.
Right
But,
upside your head.
Yeah.
man,
Or
you
in
have
your mouth. If I
you
give
don't have to have the
Manchego
world's
ball,
most mechanical skill when you've got it like you do, man. You're
Thank
you're
you.
captivating, brother. That's what made me initially a fan of you. And then we got connected and I bought your shirt. And then after that, I've been looking up your matches and watching your stuff you post, man. It's It's awesome. I didn't mean to interrupt your story,
No.
but
No, I appreciate it, brother. It means a lot. It really does mean a lot. And one thing, as a side note, one thing that I've been pushing out there to these guys, because there are guys that'll come to me and be like, "Oh man, you're so good at merchandising. You know, you got all the ton of shirt designs and you got all these different things." But it's like, I'm like, one thing you can do to help yourself is to talk to the wrestling T-shirt guy. You know, send him a shirt. He'll wear it. He's got the longest running record for consecutive days wearing wrestling T-shirts, and he will, as long as you're not like a piece of trash, he will pump you up on the social medias.
straight up.
And
I'll share stuff. I'll like stuff. I just love wrestling, man. I love wrestling. I love to interact with it. It's been a part of my life forever. I've got an Undertaker tattoo, a Macho Man tattoo. I'm about to get the Intercontinental title literally life-sized on my belly. So, you know, wrestling is my shit, you know.
So the best part about that is that if you knew what tattoo was above the Intercontinental title,
check it out.
it is a cheese
Cody.
That is a cheese coney.
oh my God,
Skyline cheese coney.
that is amazing! Wow, shout out to that artist. Those shades and everything. That was perfect.
Mike Ray, Broken Needle, Harrison, Ohio. He's amazing.
Yeah, it looks so real. It looks like a
Yeah.
legit cheese coney.
While
I
we're
get hungry.
showing ink, I'm going to try and get this on the there. That's my new Cheddarweight championship.
that is fantastic. Yes.
It's the guy who made this is an amazing guy. He's like a brother to me. Michael Biller. He owns Devoted Tattoo Inc. over here in Florida, and he also made this shirt, and he does all my merch. His company is called Devoted, and he has a tattoo shop and he has a clothing brand. He's amazing, huge wrestling fan too. Like
Heck yeah.
really believes in me and really has helped me out a lot. So I needed to shout him out before I finish my.
I'll have
story.
to check him out next time I'm down there, man. I go to Florida somewhat often, so I have to come see him, maybe get something on where I got room left, you know?
Yeah, brother, he will do it. And he, you know, we filmed this, him putting this on me, and it was so much fun. Like we were just kind of it's just hanging out, you know, but before I forget, because I'm bad at forgetting, actually I guess I'm good at forgetting, but the cheese origin story, to bring it kind of home here, because you'd asked me, I want to honor that. But we get to promo class, Jay Lethal School, and during promos, you know, you get to that part of like you gotta be able to cut a promo, you got to be able to advertise yourself, you got to be able to advertise your match, the who, what, when, where, all the good storylines set up is the promo, the art of the promo. Right. And that was one of my all-time favorite things, is the art of the promo. So I cut this promo as a heelish person. I wasn't the cheese, but I borrowed from one of the greatest SNL skits, Saturday Night Live skits of all time, which is Chris Farley, Matt Foley, a motivational speaker living in a van down by the river.
Yes.
And
I am 35 years old. I am divorced. I live in a van down by the river.
Dude, it's such a big part of my childhood. I love that skit. I love Chris Farley.
I'm fairly certain that my dad like bought me a best of Chris Farley SNL tape when I was like 8.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
We recorded.
Yeah, there you go. Justin Neal, down by the river.
Shout out to my brother. That's my brother there.
But so during that promo, I borrowed from the part where he says, "You're living in a van down by the river, subsisting off of a steady supply of government cheese." So I tell everybody.
I tried so hard not to say it along with you, but I've said it so many times.
Feel free, but in the room when you're cutting that promo, you're cutting your first promo ever, like that you're not cutting as a kid, as somebody else, as the Macho Man, as Ultimate Warrior, as whatever. I'm cutting it in front of a room full of people, and I never cared about, like, I don't get nervous talking in front of people.
Right.
It's one of my natural gifts that I don't mind, and I'll flaunt it. But I tell everybody, I said, why does this room look and smell like it's full of people who subside on a steady supply of government cheese. Jay Lethal lost it. And he was like, that was good, afterwards. And you get the critiques from your peers and from people like that. And they said it was good. The room popped. It was amazing. It was one of the coolest feelings of my life up to that point.
Yeah.
And Jay was like, you seem really mad at that government cheese. And he started calling me government cheese. And then he dropped the government. And then he just started calling me cheese. And I said, you know what? I think I have something here.
Let's run with it.
So I ran as hard as I could. And I also, I don't know if you see this upside down now, but I also got this tattoo. After I had my first match as the cheese, which again was only going to be my one match. I trained, bought gear, bought boots, did everything the right way, paid my dues, all that stuff. Was about 8 months to a year before I even had a match. I had that match, but right before that match, I thought, this is it. My nanny, I called them my grandparents, Nanny and Papa. I said, Nanny and Papa are going to see me. They're going to recognize this, and it's going to be this internal win that I'm always going to have, and nobody's going to take it away from me.
Right.
Well, I got bit by the bug. And once you feel that crowd, that energy, and at least 2 or 3 people have identified you as this known entity,
right,
you're hooked, right? And it's been, other than recently becoming a dad, it's the best thing I've ever felt in my life.
Welcome to the club.
Thanks. I feel like I'm in good company on the DWO.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely,
go, man.
This is where we
it's
all
not a
gather.
requirement, but it's a heavy favorable thing,
Yeah.
So you had a kid. Did you have a boy or girl or?
I had a little girl.
Oh,
There you go.
She's
Make a man of you.
Dads. Love it.
the baby Belle.
Oh, yes.
That's her ring name.
Great.
This makes me so happy.
Actually, what's great about that is, and I'll send you guys pictures at some point, but what's great about that is one of my fans, longtime fans, saw me at a show. I think I don't know, off camera, you see this belt. This is a Brawl. I'm currently the Brawl USA champion. As of tomorrow, I will have been the Brawl USA champion for 1 entire year.
All right.
And shout out to them.
Knowledge cheese.
We're having our next show at the beginning of May in Brooksville, Florida, at a place called Leadfoot City. So they're great. But one of my longtime fans, and all my fans, I just end up calling them friends because they become friends.
Right.
Because I like to give everybody an immersive experience and talk to them and see what they like and don't like and all that kind of stuff. But this one lady that had been coming to my shows for a long time, her and her son, she had a onesie made for my daughter, and it had the Baby Bell cheese on it.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And the kid's already outgrown it because she's huge.
Dude,
She's taking after
frame
Daddy.
that shit.
But it was
That's
the cutest
awesome.
thing.
That is amazing.
I met Roddy Piper about 11 years ago, and he talked to me for 15 minutes, and I thanked him for it. And he told me something that sat with me for forever. He said, for me, meeting you is just 15 minutes of my day, but for you, this is a moment of a lifetime. So I want to make it the best that I can for you. And anytime I meet somebody in this industry who exhibits that, that's who I tend to gravitate to. And it makes so much sense that you say that because, your fans are what make you who you are,
Yeah.
And it's nice to see people give a crap about their fans,
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. And that's exactly how I feel. And, there was some controversy floating around there about a week or two ago. Somebody, I guess, I don't know if it's like a gimmick page or if it's a guy who's actually a angry wrestling vet.
I'm pretty sure he's local to us, man. I was talking to a local promoter friend of mine. I'm pretty sure we know exactly who it is, but we'll discuss that later. But
yeah,
call him
angry
out.
wrestling vet.
but he put this thing out like, he did say he had kind of some caveats to it where it's situational, but he was just like, don't take the picture.
Yeah.
And dude, I would have never listened to that. I would never listen to that anytime. And again, there has to be an appropriate situation, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't, it's not like if I'm in the middle of a match with Sting is somehow on the indies, and I'm in the middle of a match with Sting, I'm not going to go up to him and be like, hey, actually, this would be a good storyline, actually, if I would be like, hey, Sting, let me get your autograph in the middle of a match. But like, Dusty Rhodes was still alive, like, and he lived around here for a long time. But if he was still alive and when the moment was right, I would jump all over the opportunity just to like shake his hand.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah.
So like, and the whole reason we're here, every single one of us, from people who started being fans in the 70s or 80s or yesterday, we're all here because we're fans of this business, and I'll stick by that because I treat everybody like, whether it's easy.
Some people have forgotten that, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it gets lost in society and all that kind of stuff and all the social media stuff and everything, but you can gauge where people are in their fandom if you talk to them for more than one or two sentences. But there's nothing wrong with that. Figure out where they are, what they like. And what I try and do is, like, again, I talk about an immersive experience, but I don't want just a fan for that night. I want them to be fans for life, and not as like a desperate plea, like, please like me, but as like, hey, you're my friend now. You bought my merch. You clapped your hands during my match.
You support me. So yeah.
You chanted cheese during a match. We're friends.
Yeah.
That's long-term storytelling, baby.
Yeah, That's it.
That means
I'll
whenever
tell you-
you eventually make it to Cincinnati, you're going to have a core of fans already.
Right.
And people are like, what? How the hell do they know who he is?
It's gonna be awesome. It's
Yeah.
gonna
The
be
cheese
really
pop.
good.
That happened
Yeah,
the first time I went to Georgia. That actually happened. It was nice.
We'll
So,
bring
like,
whenever
like
whenever we make it happen, we'll bring cheese section signs.
oh my god.
We will go all out. Stupid. Stupid.
So now you're talking about like feuds and stuff like that. Like obviously a feud with Sting would be pretty awesome.
Oh my god.
But I feel like somebody needs to take up the gimmick of like USDA customs inspector and somehow like
Your mortal enemy.
come in
His-
and just
I know
be
who
an
his mortal
absolute
enemy
heel.
is.
Well, or like a lactose intolerant, somebody like the embodiment of lactose
Lactose
intolerance.
intolerant Larry.
Yeah, like
Just like getting the ring and
I just think of like
I'll be
like
right back.
like a customs inspector, like you're foreign cheese, you're not American, just something ridiculous. I think that would be just absolute gold.
I was gonna say the shredder.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh,
But lactose intolerant Larry might beat that one.
I don't know. I like this whole thing where this universe of, I have these enemies that are just
of
regulatory
anti-cheese. Yeah.
yes.
lactose intolerant.
That's how you can tour, man. You get somebody who's willing to be a different enemy every night, and you just tour the world, being the cheese,
Super bad,
defeating one of your
ridiculous.
enemies.
Yeah,
Captain
it's like
Planet with cheese.
Like, remember, like, all the, like, really old Batman villains that were like,
Yeah.
why are they even villains? Like,
Yes.
Condiment Man and stuff. Like, you could have, like, pasteurization Pete or, lactose intolerant Larry. No,
Bacteria Bill.
Well, one of my moves is the pasteurization process, and it's
Yes.
it's a spinning sidewalk slam. So I put them in the mixer, pasteurize them, and then bang.
Okay. God, man, there's so many endless opportunities with who you are. Like it's perfect.
Well, it's interesting you say that, like, about these different villains that are catered specifically to me, because every time somebody gets in the ring with me, they're just like, I'm lactose intolerant. And I'm just like, I'm like, find something new. Bang. Hit him in the
Right.
face.
Bam! Jeez.
But, like,
You know what you need to start doing is get a bottle of like Lactaid pills and bring that to the ring with you. And, like, take a Lactaid pill, push it in some cheese, and here you go.
somebody, and whoever is listening to this that gave me this idea, I would like to say thank you here publicly. I said it to them at the time, but there was this video of this guy. He used a Pez dispenser and he put a bunch of Lactaid pills. So he was just breaking them out of this Pez dispenser. If only I could get like a cheese with my stupid face and a piece of cheese on it on top of a Pez dispenser.
Oh my
spitting out
God.
Lactaid pills.
Dude,
There's gotta
every
be a
lactose intolerant
guys
person
somewhere.
on earth should have that.
Eh,
Just,
I gotta
Brought to you
figure
by
out,
Lactaid.
I gotta figure out how to get like a custom Pez.
Somebody out there makes them
Somebody
100%
has to,
because there's like a
I'm
whole,
sure
like,
has to have a
somebody
Pez.
on Etsy has like a Pez mold machine
have to,
that they can.
have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll just do AJ Styles and then we'll put a piece of cheese on his face.
So
That sounds phenomenal.
that leads me to another question. How much, since you've became the cheese, how much have you spent on singles? How much money? Because I've seen you
Get a
use
Costco or something.
quite a few.
Get a Sam's Club membership.
It's well, it's interesting. Well, the short answer to your question is countless American dollars. But also, like, I find the places I'm not messing around here. Like, I go and find the places that have good quality
Yeah, well, yeah.
cheese.
You can't have that cheap cheese.
No, none of that cheap stuff. But yeah, I break it down to like packages, and I try and keep a tally of it. But at this point, the minimum package that I get is like a 16 pack, right?
Yeah.
Tonight I'm working with Borden. Borden, please sponsor the cheese, please, for the love of God. But I buy all different brands. I don't discriminate, but like at this point I've probably purchased at least 260 packages, like 16 packages throughout the last 3 or 4 years.
Should
That's a
really
lot
get you
of cheese,
should
man.
really get you a Sam's membership. You could really save a lot of money.
Oh, there's Dad coming into the day there.
Do you guys not like have like a GFS down there or anything? Like just
Oh.
go and get a giant sleeve of.
We do. Do they have? But see, the problem is once you get one of those mega packs, they try and get slick and not do the individual packaging. So I
Just
can't.
one big
You ain't slicing
congealed
it.
piece.
Yeah.
I have
It sometimes peels and sometimes comes off corner at a time.
right.
And just
And so it won't work because I either keep them in my fanny pack or all of my singlets, all of my gear.
barely.
I have a pocket
Yeah.
sewn on the inside.
You have a cheese
right?
pocket. A cheese pocket.
Bro, that
Nothing
is
else
fantastic.
goes in that pocket but cheese.
My gamer tag is Cheeto Pocket, so that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fair.
my old
Yeah, he added me on
Football
Xbox the other day,
name.
Mike. It popped me for sure.
my old football name because when I was in football, I would
Oh yeah,
hide
listen to
Cheetos.
this story. Here you
I would
go.
hide Cheetos into my my pads, and one day during practice, I got and they exploded out. And ever since then, for the rest of my football history, I was Cheeto Pocket. So
Imagine being at football practice and tackling a guy and Cheetos exploding out of his pads. Just picture that.
Oh, give me some of them Cheetos.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm starving.
Give me a Cheeto.
That's what I thought of. Is like he's putting them in his cargo pants pocket.
Yeah.
Napoleon
Give me
Dynamite.
them. Give me them tots.
Yeah, give me some of those.
Somebody just kicks your
Flipping starving. Shut up.
kicks your pant leg and it just crunches. Oh,
Well,
no.
that's what I would imagine is something like what happened to me when I played football in high school. I broke my compound fracture to my right femur. And
Oh gosh.
Holy
took me out of the game.
crap!
But I didn't hear it, but everybody else heard it, and they swear up and down that it sounded like a shotgun going off.
Oh,
But all I
Oh,
heard was like,
man.
this little- but what if that was just Cheetos?
Right, dude, you
Oh,
broke
no.
your leg. No, it's okay.
They're crumbs now.
Well, that's actually
No,
what,
just my femur.
yeah, that's actually what happened. Like, I heard like one of the guys said, "Oh hell no, his leg broke, and I was like, oh guys, I'm all right. Oh God, what?
you said so.
Very not all right. Very not all right.
Compound means the bone is out, right?
Yeah, dude, out,
Oh.
took out the skin.
Wow, dude.
It was
Nope.
like it almost. Some guys die like that because it'll pop
Yeah.
an artery, your femoral
Carotid
artery.
artery right there.
But
I
I
can tell you.
I was so lucky that I lived to be the cheese.
How did you
And now
get
you're-
hit like that? What caused you to break your femur? Like what circumstances caused it to break?
Well, I was running a reverse tight end play, and I went against I don't think they ever made it to college, but it was two D1 prospects that were like they were both defensive tackles, and they were like 320 apiece.
Ooh.
And one guy hit me from the side, and I'm holding the ball. One guy hits me from the side, turns me around. The other guy hits me like this, but the ball fell, and the ball fell up underneath. It turned me around. The ball fell up underneath the front of my femur, and it was like a seesaw, but there was no. It was.
Oh my
It goes out.
God! Jeez,
Oh.
Jesus!
Yeah.
Ah,
Holy cheese.
this is
Like-
definitely the most graphic moment on our podcast ever.
Yeah, and we're a professional wrestling podcast.
I now trust me, I'm too old for any injuries like that. I'm too aged. Okay. I don't want to break any charcuterie boards of
Right.
my own. I
Right.
Yeah.
say that for everybody else. But, yeah, it was rough.
Now-
It was like 2 reconstructive surgeries, and they got me
Yeah,
back
that's-
working.
Good lord.
How long till you walked again?
Oh, it was dude, I had like such grueling physical therapy. They put me in this knee immobilizer thing. Not a cast, because I had these scars where the staples were up and down my leg and everything, but it
Ugh.
was probably probably 6 months till I was walking by myself, without crutches or whatever. I could get up and down, but I had to have somebody help. It was very humbling. I was in high school, so it still weighs on me, weirdly. Thank God, hopefully this is all, but the only effects that I feel is when it rains down here, because there's no snow. Y'all know about snow, not me.
A little
Never
bit.
seen snow, by
A
the
little
way.
bit. It used to snow around
You've
here
never seen
nowadays.
snow?
I've never seen real snow. No, there was a heavy frost in 1991 in Tallahassee, Florida, that I saw, but I've never been anywhere where there's been. I went to Kansas City one time. There were snow banks outside the airport, and I'm like, I went there with a group of guys. I'm looking around. I'm like, look at all this snow, and they're all, and they're like, this guy's an idiot. I'm like a country bumpkin that's never been. It's I've been to plenty of cities. I traveled different countries all over the world, just never seen snow. And me seeing just a little bit of snow outside of Kansas City airport, I was just freaking out. Oh my God.
Did you make a snowball?
I did. And
Yes.
I threw it at the guys. And they were
Yes.
like, what is
You
wrong
have
with you,
to.
pal?
You have
It's
to.
the first time I've ever done this.
Yes. It was amazing to me. But
I'll tell you what. Good old snow made me some money back in the day, buddy. I shoveled some driveways. I'm sure these guys will agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard
Yep.
that.
Now I do it for free.
Around here, it's you just cut grass because it just grows all year.
Yeah.
See, we get both of those. We get to do both.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Where do you pay?
Speaking of making money,
Yeah. Speaking of making
money, don't we have something else we need to attend to?
we do.
Yeah,
we
pay some
you
bills.
know how official we are now. We have a sponsor now. Tri-State Wrestling. is a local promotion, and they are having a show that is coming up. And they
Saturday,
sent us a
May
wonderful-
13th.
Yeah, they sent us a wonderful video to share with the folks at home. So please partake, enjoy.
Saturday, May 13th, Tri-State Wrestling invades the Fitton Center in Hamilton, Ohio. Blake Wright makes his TSW debut as he takes on Sam Beal. The Viral One, Mills Hendricks, battles it out with Justin Xavier. Jake Chris will be squaring off against Certified Luke Curtis. The Fanny Pack Kid Cal Hero goes to battle against the Golden State God Carson Drake. Class is in session as the academic standard GPA goes one-on-one with 12 gauge. In the main event, the TSW heavyweight champion VSK and a partner of his choosing take on Myron Reed and the Wolf of Wrestling Stephen Wolf. It all goes down Saturday, May 13th at the Fitton Center in Hamilton, Ohio. Event starts at 7. The doors open at 6. Visit TriStateWrestlingOnline.com.
There you have it, folks.
Tri-State Wrestling.
Wow.
May 13th. Go check it out. It's gonna be
Oh,
awesome.
I will be in the house.
Eric Redbeard to be there.
Yes,
right,
sir.
baby.
Met Eric Redbeard before. Super. Don't want to ruin anything about his character, but super nice guy. Super gifted with his information on the business and just and moves like a gazelle for a man his size. Good
Right.
Lord.
I'm hoping. I just bought one of his shirts. I'm hoping it comes in time so I can do my shirt video with him by the time we get there. So,
Dude, that you're killing it with those, by the way. Like getting
Yes,
people
he
in the
is.
videos that are on the shirts and like,
yeah,
Dude, we were there for the Orange Cassidy one, dude. We were blown away.
that was so fun.
He like edited his shirt like live and in person, so he has a one-of-one custom Orange Cassidy shirt, dude.
That's
I'm like,
amazing.
dude, you put that shit on eBay, dude. You're gonna be. You can take a
I don't-
vacation.
I'm gonna wait till I'm a few thousand shirts in before I sell any of that shit.
oh yeah.
Should
I-
auction them off for
I
charity.
filmed that one. It was pretty cool.
I'll tell you what, though, to touch one more time on TSW, I wonder who old VSK's partner is. I'm
Gee, I don't know.
pretty intrigued about
I bet he's got a beard.
that. yeah,
What color is the beard though?
yeah. See,
Probably
any color.
yellow.
Could be black.
I saw
white?
that Certified Luke Curtis was on that card too. Like
Mhm.
he's another guy. Like look out for him. Like I know he's doing. What was he doing? Al Snow took over Ohio
OVW.
Wrestling.
OVW. But you know, if you've seen any Luke Curtis match, you know that
Yeah.
like that dude has got it going.
Yeah.
Our buddy
Jim,
Jake Christ is on the
Christ.
card,
Um,
friend of the show.
shout out Drake.
Myron Reed, we've seen him.
Aw,
that
dude's
quite a
fun.
few
Little
revolver
rascal.
shows. That dude's unreal.
And man, the venue that this is at is one of those special, like, it's like a theater venue in a way, but it's only made for like 200 people. So you have like this really, like, we just went to the $1 Million Man one they had there, and it was like super like intimate, man. It was pretty.
Did you
cool.
get to meet Ted DiBiase?
I did right before the whole
Stuff.
debacle with his son.
What? That's Junior, man. That ain't nothing on.
Well, to be from what I heard, it might be both of them soon.
The pick is in. Yeah.
I
Everybody's.
hope not,
Yee.
but like, yeah, everybody's got a price. So.
$1 million.
Can't believe the
man
Raiders
trying to
didn't
live
pick a
the good
quarterback.
So, geez, who's the? I know, we're working with Jay Lethal has got to be amazing, of course, but
Amazing.
who's the biggest starstruck moment you've had in your career, being in the backstages with some people?
Oh, it's kind of tough, to be honest. I worked. I think probably that's really difficult because I've met a lot of different guys that I grew up watching.
Yeah.
One in particular was, and he was the nicest guy. I worked on the same show that Dan the Beast Severn was doing a meet and greet.
Ah, yes. I'm a
And
huge fan of him as well.
I don't know if you guys watch MMA at all. I don't like keep up with it
Nah.
I keep up with the main fights that are going on. And
Same.
I guess you could say I'm a casual fan, but I'm a casual fan with respect to the actual sport. But every time I see Dan Severn, in my mind, I see the old UFC logo where they're that white figure is holding the world,
Yes.
and
Like God, that was a good UFC. God, that was so good back then. No weight classes, really no rules other than like don't gouge their eyes out or kick them in the balls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love we would just go rent them from Blockbuster or the local Showtime Video, but those video cassettes were so great.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
dude,
Talk
He's a
about
sweetheart.
being Brock Lesnar before Brock Lesnar was a thing. Like, dude
Right.
had the NWA title, the UFC title. Like,
Yeah.
dude was a monster.
Yeah, if there'd have been social media back then, he'd have been just as big as Brock.
oh my gosh. And he was so like, and even now,
Oh.
he's got gray hair, gray beard,
Oh yeah.
but it's like sorry. I think that we're having a thunderstorm here, but
Where
What? It's raining in Florida? Get out.
No way.
but he's very like roguish. Like he's still like huge, and he's tall too. He's taller than you think, but like he was. I mean, and the size of his hands too. That was another one. Like Hacksaw Jim Duggan meeting him. That dude's hands were like, I have pretty decent sized hands, but his hands are like a shovel that engulf my
Oh my
hands.
God.
Right.
Imagine taking that chop.
Oh no, I don't want to.
It always amazes me, like having fans being at indie shows and just taking those shots and taking them. Oh my God! I remember seeing the guy that was all pumped up for it and had like every wrestler on the card basically give him a chest chop, and then walking by us afterwards, just immediate like angst and regret on his face.
I'll tell you that a buddy of mine, he has a podcast called Shout Out Men's Health Unscripted.
Hey, they followed
yeah.
us today. Yeah.
My buddy Pat runs that podcast, and they talk about men's health issues. It's really good. It's breaking the stigma of not talking about men's health and those sort of things. But we filmed one podcast recently, and we did this thing where it was like a spend the day with the cheese deal. And
Yes.
we ate cheese, of course, but we go and we had lunch, and we did we went to this sauna thing, and there was like a sauna, and then outside there's like an ice tub. So you go to the sauna, and then you go to the ice tub. And he filmed this thing, and it'll be released soon, but he filmed this thing where he was like, will you give me a chop? And I'm just like, all right. And right after we got out of the ice tub. And so your skin's still really cold, and like you feel that.
God.
Oh my!
And he took it like a champ, but I didn't give him like 110%. I gave him probably about 95 though. And I was just like, wham.
Hold on. Was it a smack one or was it a thud one?
It was thud.
Oh,
Those
I say those
hurt.
are way worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from personal experience, those are way worse. And he took it like a champ. He, had his chest right where it needed to be. He let me hit that meat, and then he didn't say anything. I was very proud of him. But then, like, there were like three other people like behind us, kind of off camera, and you could hear, ooh.
Oh my!
How long did how long did your handprint stay there? Because like his skin being that cold, like
Yeah.
It was there for several minutes after the take. And it was just one take. So it was like he was but after
Hold on. That wasn't quite right. Let me get that again. No. I'm good.
Oh, that's good. That's enough.
I want to spend a day with cheese and just like bring you to a bunch of wineries. Like,
dude. Let's make it
I've got my own cheese. Thank you very much.
Getting wine drunk with cheese.
That sounds like a great time. Let's make it happen. There's some good wineries down in that area.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to put this together, guys. We're gonna have to put our
Road trip.
minds together and
Wolfpack
get one of
road
these
trip.
promotions to book him up here, and we'll have to sponsor that show. You know what I'm saying?
We
So
know
I'm just saying,
promoters.
Tri-State Wrestling and Future Great and everyone else that we're working with. Book this man.
Booking.
I appreciate that. I'd love to go hang out with you guys. That would be amazing.
Or we'll come down there. It'd be a Wolfpack road trip.
Y'all come down here. I can. Hey, I love being able to host people around here and just show them where to go, like especially in this area. And it's like, I don't know if it's this way up there, but you throw a rock, you can still hit a brewery around here.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
super. A lot of good breweries if you're into brews, but we have some good wineries too.
My in-laws lived in Madeira Beach.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're
And,
super close to Madeira. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So we visited St. Pete while we were actually down there. But again, cool. Like that, we found a brewery down there. There's wineries, all kinds of stuff. Like they're just like everywhere. So no, cheese and wine, man, to go together like peanut butter and jelly.
When you guys come, and you mentioned Blockbuster earlier, there's another
Yes.
plug. Like and another thing. If I sound like I'm too plug heavy, I'm sorry.
No, do it.
Good.
I love promoting small businesses. I'm also a small business owner. Like being an independent pro wrestler, like you have to be an entrepreneur and like a small business owner, lover, whatever. But
Even as a podcaster.
there is a bar here called Beer Busters that my buddy owns, and it's Blockbuster themed bar. You can actually rent videos there.
Oh my God.
And he says it's amazing. Shout out to my buddy Billy who runs the place. Like, it is amazing. You go in there, you can go and play games. I host trivia on Tuesday.
Yeah, I seen cheese trivia there. Yeah.
Trivia with the cheese. And it's the most fun anybody ever had. Matter of fact, Tuesday night we packed that place out. It was standing room only. It's the first time, and first for me in any bar in St. Pete, where people came in, looked around, couldn't find a chair at all, not a bar stool, not a chair in sight, and they stayed and hung out and drank beer and played trivia. It was
You
amazing.
packed the house and then some.
Packed it. It was awesome.
Wow, dude. That's gotta feel great though.
What's got Big Rig so tickled? I'm
I-
concerned if I hope I haven't offended you in any
You're
way.
not offending me at all. I have a friend of mine sending me stuff trying to crack me on camera.
Show
Big
us all.
Rig. I love that name.
Thank you.
All I think of is The Rock. That's what I thought. That's what I thought I was going to get out of you when I first saw the name of the cheese. I thought it was like going to be The Rock, but you were the cheese.
Do you smell what the cheese is melting?
Well, I am kin to those guys. The family, the
Okay.
Undertaker, the Rock.
Okay. Hey,
My
man,
cousin-
if you
my
ever decide
cousin-
to abandon the fans, that the cheese, that fits,
Love it. No,
You smell what the cheese is
I had
melting. That's a good.
You know what? I'll tell the joke. It was pretty funny.
Let's
They
have
said, They said, well, when a man asks another man to go to a winery, it's a little fruity.
You could tell that in Sunday school.
Yeah.
Like, I just
You know why?
such an
Because
excellent pun.
she must really like me.
I saw a wino eating grapes. It's like, dude, you have to wait. It's a Mitch Hedberg joke.
I love Mitch Hedberg so much.
God rest his soul, man. That was an amazing comic.
Oh, it's wine and cheese. Chill the
Yeah, I feel like I should. I'm plugging things left and right here, so I don't want to seem like I'm like pluggy boy.
Plug away, brother.
But-
Plug away.
I'm starting a podcast. It's called Your Own Machine, and it's probably going to be more like a third of wrestling. Like I'm going to have wrestlers on there. I'm going to talk to a bunch of indie guys. But I'm more going to talk about the business aspect and what they're doing to make themselves successful. But what I'm really going to be doing is I'm going to be talking to people in the entertainment business, like stand-ups and musicians and writers and people like that, but also small business owners, entrepreneurs, that sort of thing. Anybody who's built their own machine that doesn't have one of those colossal corporate machines behind them pushing them into the next chapter or whatever of success. They've built their own machine, so to speak. So that's why I'm calling it Your Own Machine.
That's really cool though, because it's got to be interesting to hear like how, all these different people that have found, whatever their level of success is, how they found that, you know what I mean? And a lot of people's backstories, when they get in that position, they push themselves to get to there. And it sounds like a great idea.
I love coming in. I love telling the cheese story. I love talking to people about it, but I also love hearing everybody else's story. Like, getting to ride with Bushwhacker Luke to different shows taught me so much. And he's like a human podcast. And he started like talking to me about wrestling. Like he started with the 60s and kept moving on. Like,
jeez, dude.
I was like, oh my God.
What a masterclass.
Dude, I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. Just
Really
jumping in a car with somebody and going, and it's.
And they're originally from New Zealand, right?
Correct. Yep.
So he's a world-traveled, world-renowned wrestler, man. I mean, he's from the Sheep Herders to the Bushwhackers to being in old television shows and movies, and they are, in the fabric of America. So to be able to sponge off of him would be a really cool thing.
It's incredible. I consider myself so lucky to just listen, and take in, like you said, just sponging everything up from him. And he's so sharp with everything that he's telling you about from 30, 40 years ago, and he's a fantastic, it's a really good hang. And on top of that, it's like I'm learning so much. But
sure, yeah,
just talking to somebody like that, going off, learning about that kind of stuff, there is a version of that for everybody who's built something. The wrestling T-shirt guy gimmick is there's
great
a
one
of that in there.
Yeah.
And there's everybody's got that story, and if you're building something creative, I want to listen to it and I want to tell people about it. So,
heck yeah,
very excited.
I mean,
yeah, the wrestling T-shirt guy thing is great. The moment Eric told me about it, he met him in line, and I was like, "That sounds so interesting."
That was the thing is I met him in line. We were at a Ethan Page and Danhausen meet and greet. At a toy store in Hamilton.
Hold on a second. Just a little side note to this story. I talked about this the other day, and your guys' meeting is only because Eric overslept.
Yeah, I was late.
Eric was supposed to ride with me. I was at his house, knocking on his door, calling his phone. Nothing. At one point I was just like, I guess he's not going. I don't know. And then he ended up waking up and shooting up there. But yeah, I was like, that's crazy, man. Like, if he would not have overslept, if he would have woke up to my knock or my phone call, we didn't have ever met Cephas. So actually, Eric
was
oversleeping and actually brought some good.
Wait, Eric wasn't there before me. I was the first in the line and the last in the line.
Ah.
So I literally was there before almost everybody. I ended up being like 9th to go in or whatever, but I was at the very start of the line and the very end of the line because Danhausen said he'd do my video if I waited till everyone else left. I was like, shit, okay. Sold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't even that bad. That line wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't at all.
Sorry, I completely side railed that.
Yeah, but
No, I
yeah.
just thought what the happenstance of the situation of
Yeah,
us
no,
meeting him
I
is
think
very
I've
cool.
even said that before. Like the only reason we met is because I slept in and got there late, and yeah, I remember you telling me like, "Oh yeah, I got this world record going," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And then like, we started talking more, and like you showed me, and I'm like, "Oh wow, you're actually telling the truth." So yeah, that ended up being awesome. Also, Cheese, we got another comparison to your appearance. I know we talked earlier that kind of an AJ Styles, if he let himself go a little bit. We also have.
Oh,
We also have.
God. Insult the guest.
I'm not insulting the guest.
If he
I
just
wasn't
didn't
even
do
the
as
one
many
that came
crunch-
up with that.
He just didn't do as many crunches. Got it.
AJ Styles, if
Anyways,
he was a little taller. He was a little taller. There we go. If AJ Styles was a little taller. So we also have if Steve Zahn and Triple H had a bastard love child.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that all day long.
That's a good one.
That's
a really
yeah,
good
that's
one.
pretty good. Luckily, my kid looks exactly like my wife, so
There you go.
oh shit.
no, she has some features. She gains weight and grows like me, but she's cute like my wife, so it works
There
out.
you go. Perfect.
kids do that. It's a whole.
Kids are the best, man.
They are. I've always wanted to be a dad, and I finally got that chance, and now I'm here, and it's amazing. It's it's a lot of different things that you sacrifice, but hey,
You say
she's
that,
doing most of the work.
but you've yet to have teenagers.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know. That part makes me
Mine are 22, 19, and 15, so it's a whole different ball game, sir.
I'm in the stage where I'm their hero, so wait till you come home one
Mine
day.
absolutely, I think, hate me. Most of my kids talk to me. We'll put it that.
Yeah. See that me and Cephas got it good right now. Our kids like go to wrestling shows with us and like
They want to.
They want to go. I mean, well, Mikey goes with Mike.
Yeah.
To the NWF shows, but yeah, like having the teenagers that you got that angst in there, and
I can't wait.
we're not at that point yet.
And you gotta
I know it. I know it's coming one day. But I'm enjoying it while it lasts.
I am so excited for her to, it's actually one of my goals. Like before I hang up the boots, I want her to organically be a Cheese fan,
Right.
But I held her in my arms outside of the ring at one of the local shows that we had several months back. Back when she's like 4.5 months old now, but she's only like a month old, and I held her.
She still has that new car scent.
She really does. But
Don't babies smell the absolute best?
she does.
It's like puppy breath. It's
I'm obsessed, man. Like she's so like everything is good right now. I know that it's not always going to be that way, but everything is new, and she's like way strong, like a lot stronger than I thought she'd be. Like, because when she starts swinging those little tiny fists, it's like a cat of nine tails hits me right here.
It's crazy, man. It's like the most interactive RPG you can play with some of the best results ever, man. It's do you want to focus them on archery? Do you want to focus on their intelligence? You know what I mean? What type of character are you trying to build here?
wow. I never thought about it like that, dude.
It really is
questioning for so long until I had this kid, so
You play video games?
Now you got the main quest.
I got I don't play them regularly. I'll play them if somebody like asks me to or forces me to, aka, hey, sit down, have a beer, and play a game.
What's the last game you played?
Actually, I'm big into retro stuff.
Yes.
So I played like the other night at Beer Busters. Billy got this whole like retrofit system in there, and it had all the games. And I played like Super Mario 3. Like I got lost and played it for like an hour.
So, I'm just hitting them all tonight. Bam! Another one.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're delicious. What?
Yeah,
Moving on.
Nobody said that.
He has a point. Imagine if you're just
Definitely.
tuning in.
You just tuned in.
It's my
Baby
show.
Best.
I say what I want.
Give it a big old snap.
Product of the game and Steve
Hey.
Zahn, baby smell.
If the leader of the free world can sniff children, then by God, why can't I?
Jesus Christ.
We're going off the rails. Jeez, no.
Oh my God. Did you expect anything less tonight? I mean,
No,
it
not
was going
really.
to be a wild ride tonight for sure.
I love retro video games. What's your
Love it.
Same.
segue?
Love 'em all.
Segue.
We actually there. You talking about like cool like bar concepts? We actually have one up here in Cincinnati. It's called 16-bit, and it's just filled with old arcade games, like the old like box like NFL Blitz and like everything's in
Yeah,
there.
Simpsons
Dig-
4-player.
Yeah, Dig Dug, all kinds of stuff.
That's amazing. I love that.
I'm not a big fan because they charge way too much for their drinks, but it's cool to go up there and just go.
they
play
have,
Blitz
like-
and stuff.
They have cool like themed drinks too. Like there's like a Macho Man, I think, which is like a
Yeah,
whiskey and Coke with a Slim Jim in it. There's like I think the Hulk Hogan.
don't they have a
is-
Hulk Hogan one? It's like a
Bomb pop in it.
pop.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a good time, man. It's the city of Cincinnati has a lot of rich like beer history because of all the Germans, which is there's a lot of cool stuff there. But I'm glad they've revamped that area because it's really, really cool. I think they just combined with like one of those little mini bowling things too.
That's awesome.
Man.
Did they?
Either way,
Duck
Oh,
bowling.
yeah,
is that
mini
what-
bowling. That's like super
called?
popular now.
that's fun as hell. I mean,
Have you tried
the
foaling?
Foaling?
Bowling?
it's mini
Yeah.
bowling. I
Is that
call
what that
it
is?
mini bowling.
Okay, I thought it was foaling. I'm
Why
learning
we
here.
don't just go bowling.
I don't know. It's like
There's
bowling
a-
where you don't have to like throw your arm out or.
We have a place called Duckies down here that you do. They call it duck bowling, but it's like that mini bowling where you're basically throwing a skee ball down the thing.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys are talking about?
Mini
Yes.
bowling, yeah.
Well,
Duck,
the one we-
duck bowling.
one I
That's,
do
that's
is
what I've heard
football.
it called. Duck bowling. Yeah, well,
Um,
I mean, we're the original founders of the game of cornhole. So I mean,
Oh,
we're all about them fun games up here.
So, Cheese, since you're a new dad, we have a very important question for you. What is your thermostat set at?
ooh, it is constantly in a constant state in this harsh heat. It is constantly at 69. Nice.
Nice. That is the appropriate temperature, if you ask me.
All right.
Nobody comes around. Nobody comes within 15 feet of it.
That's right.
don't
Sometimes you, gotta
look
lock
at
that
it?
sucker.
Do you have a
up.
lockbox?
Yeah.
Something. Well, I'm the human lockbox for it, but I've also.
I'll send you a link.
Okay. I've encrusted it with like a cheese
Can't be too
barrier
A
around
cheese
it.
barrier.
You're not allowed to touch it. It's
Just a
almost,
big block of Velveeta stuck to it.
people walk in, they're like, "You got cheese on your wall too? Don't you think you're taking this a little far?"
It's necessary.
Never.
Man.
Isn't
Just
it?
like encase it in Limburger just so nobody wants to go around it.
You ever actually had Limburger? I've smelled it.
I've never ate it. I've never been brave enough.
No.
I have. It tastes a lot better than it smells.
It has to because if
Smell
it
is
doesn't,
awful.
they should not sell it.
I mean,
'Cause
isn't
it
that,
smells
isn't that like
like-
a thing amongst like real like super cheeseheads is like the smellier the better or whatever.
Yeah. I
I don't-
visited the cheese counter at Kroger, and I mean, them ladies have never once ever suggested Limburger as an option. I'm just saying. They're like, here's some Gouda, here's some goat cheese, here's some whatever. Never like, hey, you ever tried Limburger? No, nobody wants that. Like, I can't believe they still. Anyway, I digress.
I got it was like an Advent. I'm not whatever sect of religion Advent is.
Oh, Advent calendars are for everybody now because it sells good.
It's I got a cheese Advent calendar last year.
Beer ones.
And Limburger was one of the things, and I ate it and it was good, but to smell it would immediately turn you off.
That's like sauerkraut. Like if you smell sauerkraut, like you're like, no, not for me. But like actually eating it's a whole different experience, I guess. So I can see where that could be a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why else would we be talking about?
I've been checking my phone on that because of this draft stuff, man. I don't think I've ever been more into NFL than I ever have.
Well, now that our team is actually worth a shoot.
Shoot.
Jumbo Jim's have the big. I
got cheese in my beard.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I don't even think the cheese knows about that. We have a place up here called Jungle Jim's, and it's literally like worldwide known, right? And they have a giant, like I'm talking like 1,000-pound block of cheese that they get a new one every year, and they hang it until like June, and they have a cheese cutting event, and everybody can come get a piece of cheese. And it's like I'll have to send you some pictures, man.
Pencil in.
That sounds like a promo picture opportunity right there.
Well, I tell you what, if we time it just right, okay, I can go there, set up for a show or two. We can all hang out. We can do another. If y'all have me on again, we'll do another podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I'll take pictures with that cheese, and they will probably escort me out because I will try and steal it, even if I have to put the wheelbarrow or something.
He's throwing us back like Atlas, just.
Well, that's all going to be part of the video package.
Yeah,
it'd be great.
Trying to steal the cheese.
You would definitely go viral for that.
Oh man,
it's my birthright.
The cheese is all elite.
My birthright.
I'm a member of the family, damn it.
Yeah.
You guys don't deserve it.
I'm all cheese leet.
All cheese leet.
All cheese leet.
If that ever comes to pass, I will die a happy man.
I would love it.
I'm trying to see the event.
Like not just you joining that company. I need the graphic to say all cheese leet.
Cheese leet.
Not all elite. I need all cheese leet.
I did I created this faction one time that since I have a Southern accent and I'm from the South, because originally from the dairy farms of North Florida, because the further south you go in Florida, the more, northern it is really, because everybody's transplanted. But like where I grew up, is everybody is y'all this, y'all that. It's everywhere now, but I had a team called Y'all Elite.
Wow.
And people seem to enjoy it. I actually had a Y'all Elite flag made. I'll dig it out.
Is there a T-shirt?
Next time. There are shirts out there, yeah.
Hey, because here, this is so funny. I live in Boone County, Kentucky, and in Boone County, Kentucky is a place called Florence, and Florence has Florence Mall, and they built a water tower right outside of Florence Mall. And they wanted to put Florence Mall on the water tower, but they had a dispute with the city, blah, 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 blah. Come to pass, it now says Florence, y'all. And that's what they're known for. We even have a minor league baseball team called the Florence Y'alls.
Wow.
So I need Y'all Elite shirt.
I got you.
So just putting this out there, I believe they haven't set an official date yet, but the tentative date for the next big cheese cutting, and just an FYI, the piece of cheese that they're cutting is an 800-pound piece of cheese, and they're aiming for the last weekend of October. So sometime around Halloween.
We have time. We have time. We know people. We talk to a lot of people, so
and I'll bring a pallet jack. And,
No, like think about that. What if
Get
you
a-
walk up,
Diesel
The ju-
Dolly.
walk up to Jungle Jim himself, and just be like, "Listen, if you need an MC for this thing, I'm your guy."
hey, I will do it. I host events. I'm not afraid to use
Dude,
this.
that'd be
voice.
amazing.
Bro.
I-
I need
I'm
to-
not afraid to use the cheese whiz.
Yeah,
I happen to know somebody that works in maintenance there. Maybe I can pull some strings. We'll see what we could do.
brother. Dude, I will go in full gimmick. I will
Oh.
have my. I'll be the cheese. It will nothing casual. I'll have tassels. I'll have the yellow boots. I'll have the cheese. I have cheese cootery boards. It has my tattoo on it. So it's like the design there, and I will go, and I will be the cheese. I just need that chance. Somebody,
Mike,
Jungle Jim
you
himself.
know what you got to do, Mike. You're gonna have to clip this, and I'm gonna have to show this to my buddy at Jungle Jim's, and we're gonna have to see what we can do about getting a new host for the new big cheese cutting event.
The
You know what I
cheese.
mean?
Yeah,
At least gotta make it.
absolutely.
You never know if you don't ask, right?
Say, I don't think indie companies plan this far out yet, but if we can start putting the bug in
feelers.
people's ears, man.
Hey,
To any independent wrestling company in that area, I will go and I will give you a show beyond shows. I will throw in trivia with the cheese before the show, during the intermission, whatever. And you put whoever you want in front of me, and I will make them eat cheese, baby.
yes. Cheese versus Jack Vaughn, please.
I feel like you have one of those gimmicks though that like you can literally show up the first time anywhere and it'll catch on like that.
I always get nervous about that. It typically does, but I always get nervous, and then I always feel like relieved whenever I get. All it takes is a couple of people to be like, cheese, 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 and then I'm just like,
And then-
okay, I still got it. I'm still good.
Yeah. Because I mean, like on the indies and stuff like that, like you expect like they have gimmicks like that. I don't mean to make light of it or take anything away,
No,
but
no,
it's
no.
maybe more old school kind of gimmick versus the realistic stuff that everybody does. Some people do today.
Yeah, well, you've got there's already 987, tough guy, black boots, black tights, whatever.
Shaved
And
head,
no
goatee.
offense to any of those guys. Every region's got one. We've got plenty of them in Florida, and
Oh, yeah.
I won't take anything away from those guys. Most of them are phenomenal athletes, but it's nice to be different. There's a group of guys that I kind of am affiliated with in a loose sense. You're my friend Luigi Primo.
I love
yeah,
him.
He's making the best
Yes.
pizza.
There's another guy called Big Opossum. I would love to work with him in some way, shape, or form. There are all sorts of guys. Veteran Jack Vaughn is another one that's just like otherworldly. Like he's just so hilarious.
He's
but
so
also
good.
We're so
good.
spoiled to have
I
him
know.
here. I mean, he's such a great dude. You know what I mean? He's like you. He's good to the fans. So we're spoiled to have him. That would be a dream match to see you guys, man. I feel like you guys could just gimmick the whole matchup, not really wrestle the whole time, and still steal the whole show. Like,
He would certainly out wrestle me, but I would.
He's
have
a veteran.
No choice but to do it because he's a veteran.
Yeah. The last real professional wrestler.
There's
God
a
love
lot of
him.
really fun gimmicks out there right now, and it's a great time to be a wrestling fan if you're into any of that kind of stuff. But I
Yeah.
think in addition to one of my favorite things is drawing off the crowd and loving taking time with the fans, letting them become friends and all that sort of stuff. My favorite thing is making new wrestling fans. When somebody comes out there, they come to a show, they're like, I haven't watched wrestling since I was in elementary school, or I've never watched wrestling before, or whatever. I worked Atomic Legacy Wrestling is a big promotion down here. I'm one half of their tag team champions, by the way. but they have some really good names. They throw some really good shows, big crowds. And last show we were there at ALW, there's a guy and his son came up to me and they were just like, "Hey, this is our first indie show. We've been to." He's like, "Last show I went to was as WCW," and I was like, "Well, I know it's been a long time then," but him and his son.
It's been a minute.
Yeah,
They died in the 90s, so
him and his son, it was their first indie wrestling show, and I was like, "That's amazing," you know. They took a pic, they bought some merch, and he posted the pic, and it was so cool, just like that. That to me right there is spreading the good gospel of professional wrestling to anybody who will listen. You know, so if I get somebody who's on the fringe, they're like, this part's too serious, this part may be too silly, but you know what? I like the cheese. That means the world to me, you know?
Right, yeah.
I love independent wrestling because of that. I like going to shows where I don't know if you know one person on the card, and then everybody else on the card has that opportunity to make a fan of you. Absolutely. And that's happened so many shows I've been to, and I love that. And I feel like you're the kind of guy, and your character and your personality really, you win people over like right away.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's nice. I enjoy it. It's like, and it's to touch on something we were talking about earlier. The whole wrestling T-shirt guy gimmick. When
that guy again, really?
When I reached out to him, he got back to me. He was just like, "Hey, I'm interested in collaborating in some way, shape, or form." And he bought a shirt, like he bought merch. Like he's not just asking for a handout out here. But there are, I don't know if it's regional. I don't know if it has to do with what your goals are. Everybody's different. And I'm not chastising anybody for not doing this, but there are people that you can reach out to in the wrestling business, and they are just like walled off from you because they're like, nope, whether they're a fan or whether they're a wrestler or manager or whatever, they wall themselves off because they're like, I don't want this, whatever this is, to take away from any momentum that I have.
Right.
But it wasn't like that with you, Steve. We connected instantly. You told me that you liked the gimmick, which I appreciated. But it's like, I like that kind of stuff. I like collaborating. I love talking. Again, it's a new version of fandom, right? Like back, I don't know how old you guys are, but like
old.
Mike's our resident veteran.
But
I'm older than Jack Bond, put it that way.
Do you remember tape trading days back in the early times of wrestling, where you would just go and meet different guys, or you would mail off a tape, like just saying tape, just watch wrestling on tape.
VHS. Yeah.
VHS. Yes.
Like those times of watching wrestling and being into wrestling, like if you found another wrestling fan that was so into it that they had multiple wrestling tapes that they wanted to trade and expand their knowledge of the product, like that, you were friends immediately.
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel to people who like really love and want to just push the professional, like, and not just one company versus the other. Like there's a lot of that still, but like just wrestling as a whole, we love it all, Yeah.
That's why I've been pushing you so hard, man. Not only, I bought the shirt, you shared my stuff, and then I bought the glasses a few weeks after that, man. And you hooked me up, man. You took care of me. I got my little poster up there. I got my little cheese brawler buddy with the slices of cheese, which is the coolest thing about that, by the way.
Yeah.
Your little brawler came with tiny slices of cheese. Like that's the coolest thing about it.
I think that's what I love most about both of you guys and your per se gimmicks and in person is that you guys are both full of positivity, and there's way too much negativity in the world, and it's so easy to get caught up in that. But just I appreciate your guys' positivity.
It's the lesson of the day, guys.
Absolutely.
I mean, as much as I hate his his fantasy booking decisions. I can't deny that Cephas is a good guy.
Yes, he is.
You need to acknowledge our tribal chief. That's all I'm saying.
He's the reason that Roman won at WrestleMania, and I've never forgiven him for it.
There's always different ways.
I called that shit last September.
Well, and here, that and him just be, like no selling stuff. Like we were at like a house show, and we were like, dude, John Moxley's about to come out, and he's like, yeah, well, I used to like hang out with him and stuff, so this isn't new.
Personal friends, like we're cousins, second cousins.
I'm like, well, I'm excited, okay?
Listen, I've been in this fandom for a long time.
I get it. You know everybody.
I've met a lot of cool people.
He took a picture with Adam Sandler. That's like a whole thing.
Yeah, what's up?
Don't even get him started on that crap.
Yeah, it's true.
That's amazing.
He did not take a selfie with Adam Sandler.
Yes, I did. Adam Sandler.
You effing did not.
Yes, I did.
Wait. There is a full-on Facebook group that is dedicated to guys that look like Adam Sandler but are not Adam Sandler.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Could it have been one of those guys?
No, it was actually Adam Sandler that took an effing selfie at his live show of
30,000 people.
And Stevens is like, look, I'm in a selfie with Adam Sandler.
I wore
see
this
my
color
shirt.
that night.
He's butthurt because I wore a solid orange shirt that said Cincinnati 316 on it, and I
can't even see that. It's an orange little blip.
It's me.
There's no way to confirm that.
Hang on.
Yes, there is. I have the ticket stuff.
Hang on, Big Big. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's got. He technically is in a selfie with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. Where's yours?
Save is getting muted again.
Damn it. Damn it.
I'll save it for next week.
That's
You're just
awesome.
going to have a bank of mute time.
Man, speaking of which,
penalty
thank
box.
you, Cheese. Thanks for coming on here tonight, man.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you. Guys.
You are
awesome.
You've been an awesome guest for sure.
Oh, I love this stuff. I live for it. I really appreciate you guys having me. I love the podcast. I love what you guys are doing. You're promoting pro wrestling, love pro wrestling, positivity in pro wrestling, and
Yes,
and also being dads.
Yes.
It's cool to be a dad
awesome.
now.
Damn right it is. And on that
I
note,
love it. We really appreciate everybody tuning in to the Dad World Order podcast, seeing our buddy the Cheese. We definitely need to have you back on here. We very much appreciate you coming on. As always, I've been Big Rig. He has been Mr. Magnificent Mike Martin. Always. He has been the worst fantasy booker in the world, wrestling t-shirt guy Cephas. He has been the Gouda Godfather, the Cheese.
The whole cheese and nothing but the cheese.
That's right, baby.
You can't handle the cheese.
I'm using
Until
that
next
tomorrow.
time.
I'm using that this weekend.
Yes.
Top Dads out.
Dad World Order.